Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Naruto Shippuden, episode 344. And in this episode, we see Madara arrive again, and the fact that he's there pretty much means he beat the five Kages. And we see clips of them, we see a couple of small scenes with them. All of them are unconscious, but Tsunade eventually wakes up and she summons Katsuyu. We see that there's this giant tree and the upper half of her body is on one side of the tree and the lower half of her body is separated completely like meters away on the other side of the tree. All right, so Tsunade's clearly been beaten up, but according to her, it's still possible for her to save the other four. So yeah, she's going to use Katsuyu to save them. um then after that we go back to Madara and Obito, and it turns out that he actually knows about the Moon's Eye plan. So these two they know each other, so they've clearly met before at some point. And we pretty much learn we learn a lot. Well, not a lot, but we learn a decent amount in this episode with the flashback plus the stuff that happened before it. Like I said, Madara knows about the Moon's Eye plan. He talked about what Nagato's purpose was, where the original plan that those two had together was for Madara to be revived not via Edo Tensei, but with Rinne Tensei. Nagato was supposed to use Rinne Tensei to revive him. Legitimately, not Edo Tensei, but an actual revival. Um, yeah, and after he says that, actually Naruto tries to attack him. It's like the only actiony like thing in the entire episode. Oh no, actually no, I take that back. But in terms of, outside of flashback, that's the only actiony type of thing to happen. Naruto attacks Madara, and he uses the fan. And he just reflects it completely. And he just shoots Naruto back. It was pretty epic. But yeah, he tells Obito he's going to go after the tailed beasts, and Obito should go after Kakashi and Guy. And they kind of just look at each other, and the flashback starts. Obito's flashback starts. And we see this old version of Madara, and we learn that he's in this like underground lair type of place, and he's got all these underground passageways going throughout it. And when all those boulders fell on top of Obito, he, along with the boulders, I'm assuming, fell through into one of those passageways, and Madara ended up finding him. He healed him up using the Zetsu slash Hashirama cells. He pretty much gave him prosthetic limbs, pretty much. That's essentially what Madara did. And he ends up telling Obito about the flaws of the ninja world, pretty much. Just like stuff that Nagato said, stuff that Jiraiya said. You know, he said stuff like only pain, suffering, and futility exist in this reality. And he started talking about the cycle of hatred. And Obito has a similar reaction to Naruto. When Naruto heard that stuff from Jiraiya, at first he just didn't really care. He's just like, whatever. And that's the reaction Obito had. He's like, what is this old man rambling about? You know, he just didn't care. But Naruto ended up caring after something happened to make him realize that Jiraiya was right. So at some point, Obito is going to see something that made him realize that Madara was right, because these two are similar to each other. Um, so yeah, we jump, and this flashback is going to show us exactly what it is that happened that allowed him to see that Madara was right. But other than that, it's just Madara saying some random stuff. Not random stuff, but like just giving us information. You know, he said that he was still alive because he's siphoning chakra from the Gedo Mazo. Um, I'll assume that makes sense. I really just don't feel like putting in the effort to research chakra and find out if that makes sense. I don't feel like going and listening to Sakura's lessons to Naruto and Sasuke from part one. Yeah, I'll just assume that makes sense. Um, he tells Obito a little bit about the plan, kind of. He mentions the plan, and he says he wants Obito to help him with it. He says that his original eyes, he gave them to someone else. I don't remember if that was revealed before in the anime, so I won't say who he gave them to, though I'm sure people could guess. Um, and something else that he mentioned was that in order for the Sharingan to reach its full potential, you need to have two of them, not just one. So that I think I'm pretty sure that concept has come up before in the past when it comes to the Sharingan, specifically the Mangekyo Sharingan, because if you realize, Obito can't use Susanoo. So I'm sure that that concept has come up before to explain that. Because Obito doesn't have two Mangekyo Sharingan, he only has one. That other eye, we don't know if that was actually a Mangekyo Sharingan or not. If it was, there would probably be no reason for him to hide it behind the mask. You know? So I don't really I'm pretty sure he only had one Mangekyo Sharingan, which is why he couldn't use Susanoo. So yeah, that's something that's decently important. I'll assume that the same thing can be applied to the Rinnegan as well. Uh, you can't reach its full potential if you only have one. Um, but yeah, that's that. Um, other than that, other than that stuff, it was just Kakashi Gaiden again. The Kakashi Chronicles, flashback inside a flashback. I just don't care. I've seen this so many times already that I just don't care anymore. And the stuff they showed in this episode is the same stuff they showed in the last episode. So I really don't care now. And I know why they're doing it too. It's because they can't do any filler anymore because of the point in the story that they're at. It wouldn't make sense. They'd have to do something with Bleach where they literally just put all the action on hold and literally go to something completely different and do a random filler arc. And so, like they did during the Eyes and stuff. So, I so they're trying to do this stuff, add more flashbacks in order to extend the episode, and that way they don't catch up to the manga as quickly and they gain some space. But they don't need to do that. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how many chapters ahead they are, but I'm sure it's at least 50. At least, probably more like 60 or 70 at this point. And assuming that it is 50, just to go with the minimum, if they do 2 chapters per episode, that means they catch up in 25 weeks, which is half a year. Seeing as though with Christmas they miss a week or two, so that's half a year's worth of episodes. And in those 25 weeks, Kishimoto himself would have come up with 25 more chapters. So even then, they wouldn't be caught up. So there's plenty of time to if you find yourself getting too close, you can easily like, I don't see a point to do this right now. I really don't. If you really want to add in filler and extend the episodes, then do extended fight scenes. I mean, well, then again, this entire arc is fighting, so I guess it'll probably be more than 2 chapters an episode. But even so, I mean, this is this is ridiculous. Um, yeah, that's it for this episode. Really, there was the Obito's flashback where we learned a little bit of stuff there. Plus, this episode was pretty much just giving us a little bit of information here and there. But it was boring because of the Kakashi Chronicles again. All right, it was just boring. So I'll give it was a mediocre episode, and I'll give it a 6 out of 10. There was nothing inherently good about it, but there was also nothing inherently bad about it either. I don't like the fact that they added in flashbacks, but I found them annoying, but that's more of a personal problem, not an actual quality problem. So I'll just leave it at a 6 out of 10. But yeah, that's it. You guys, Kill Up Kill review will be up tomorrow at some point. I haven't even watched the episode yet, but that'll be up at some point tomorrow. Fairy Tail will probably be up before that. If I like the episode of Golden Time that I have yet to watch, and I might review that since I've caught up to it and everything. But I make no guarantees because it's not like it's going to be a regular series that I review since since I'm so late with starting it. But yeah, Trinity 7 will be up at some point. Like I said in one of my I think Seraph of the End and World Trigger reviews. It's low priority right now. My regular reviews come first, so that whenever I catch up to those is when I'll do that. But yeah, this video is going on for way too long, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.